if that was recording the whole time.
It was not recording, trust me. No, do you even know me? What happens is I think I'm recording and we're not. That's...
I was applying that logic, but reverse.
So we could look at DJ's question.
Yeah.
Like,
Where's repair, man?
Oh. You know, every time I'm always confused when I hit instructor HDMI why no signal shows up. It's because you actually have to connect the cable.
Things aren't wired these days.
Also, please don't ask me anything about the case. I'm not allowed to talk about it. Oh, have you guys seen Cali Purple yet?
It's purple. Is it worth it? American Sign Language.
Well, I mean, it's free, so...
Okay.
All I know is
What is that?
Is it bigger than?
Oh yeah. Well, let me rephrase that.
Is it bigger than the regular Cali?
A little bit, yeah.
like what is it, dog?
Cali Orange.
It's just another like.
Well, I know there are a lot of turquoise.
Or Cali Gold.
I guess
There are a lot of tools. You know what that means?
No.
That means
like
purple.
snort. No, yeah. The regular Cali.
Wait.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Because purple has defensive.
No.
So regular Cali stopped putting a lot of stuff on there, and it's the people, some of the people that made the software that they had on their tools they had on there started getting crappy about it. Even though it's stupid because people knew about those tools because they were in Cali. They're like, well, we don't want you putting. So you have to install them on your own now. It's kind of silly.
Well, they also tried to use that because they were getting like 10 tools that did the same thing.
I'm sure.
Yeah, this is universal.
That's universal.
I mean, I'm in like Cali Discord.
Also, no.
Oh, we have to
I-
install the entire.
Honestly, just get you a decent like system and just run with it.
Here, I'll show you.
They're from Israel, dude. I got to put them on a form if I.
Offensive securities Discord.
Yeah, they're Israeli.
I don't want to be. Look.
Oh, look,
I was gonna say like, I should do that. Like,
he was like,
what is it out of time?
You see anything different?
milk.
What? That's. I was gonna ask you. That's the ideal, because really we can't push it anymore. Yeah, I was thinking before that. I can't do before that. Like the government.
All right.
Here's all this land. But then they're like.
Looks like more like what we were doing.
You're both busy, so I'm saying.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen.
I don't know.
All right.
Just assume we were all fine.
Yes. No, I was only addressing the ladies and gentlemen.
Oh.
Anybody else, you're free to not pay attention. Okay. So what are we going to do today? Yeah, we are recording. Congratulations. You're on TV. All right. So we are recording. This is kind of where we left off. This failed password for invalid user. All right. I'm going to very quickly, we're going to work through this together very quickly and figure out how we would actually get the usernames, right? So that's the last thing is for the usernames, how do we get the invalid usernames that people tried, right? So let's go all the way back to our data and look at it. So we're grepping for failed password for invalid user. Oops, Control C, sorry. Get rid of that pipe because it's saying, where do you want me to pipe this stuff? Right, so we can see that there's one place right here that tells us what usernames are being used, okay? That's the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11th field, right? So let's go back here. Oh, that's what we already have.
What?
What do you know? We don't need this. Yeah, we do. There we go. So that's our list of usernames. All right. So what do we need so that everybody doesn't have the exact same data?
Different logs.
We need different logs. So where the heck are we going to get these different logs?
Why does mine not work?
Correct. I'm going to give you guys an IP address. You're going to SSH over to that instance and pull down that auth.log file. All right. Let's see how to do that.
I think it's something to do with my message. I thought that's what DJ said, but it's not.
All right. So let me go over here to my handy dandy notebook and sit down in my thinking chair and think.
You know, it's not like I've done that.
I don't want to talk.
Why don't I get
The citizens of Yappville want
All right.
to hear back.
So I'm going to get myself a nice little IP address that's not assigned to somebody else. And we are going to, has anyone ever used SSH before?
What's that?
SSH. Some salamanders holler.
Actually,
Shell.
with all of these challenges.
Secure shell, okay? All right, somebody help me out with the syntax. If I give you an IP address, how am I going to log into that IP address? How am I going to SSH over there, right? SSH is a way that gives me a secure shell. So this terminal is also called a shell. So if we want to get this shell to let us interact with another computer, we can use secure shell. How do we do that? What's the syntax?
You do like a Ubuntu at, and then like,
Oh, why Ubuntu at?
because that's what pops up on my thing.
Because
I pre-typed it.
my thing says it, right? So if I say SSH, here's my IP address, 35.160. Now look, if you're at home and you haven't been coming to class and you're like, oh, I can't get into this IP address. Yes, because this isn't your IP address. You're going to have to contact me and get an IP address. And could I just be proactive and send it to you? Yes, I could. But then I think I would cease to exist because I'm not going to be proactive like that. That just ain't me, bro. Here's the deal. I like you to contact me because then I know you watched this dang video and you're actually participating in class. And I don't like paying for stuff that people aren't going to use because these machines cost me money. And I'm like Mr. Krabs, especially now. 35.160.193.111. Okay? If I try to log into here, if I just do this with nothing else and hit enter, it's going to say, I don't know this host. Do you trust it? And I'll say, of course I trust it. I trust everyone. And now it says, Cali. Why did it add this Cali at?
Oh, big name.
That's the username.
It's what username?
Big name.
Key!
It's defaulting to Cali because you didn't provide a username in your SSH command, and so it's assuming you want to use the current user you're logged in as on your
Correct.
host machine.
It thinks, oh, this is another one of your machines. You probably have the same username over there, but I don't have the same username over there. Or do I? No, I do not. So no matter what I put in here, it's just going to be logging on there that I'm logging in as an invalid user. But you know what? Just for fun, let's add something to it, right? Okay, we're wrong. All right. Well, let's just Control-C that because that ain't ever going to work. Okay? Now, like Harsh said, we need to know the user on that remote machine that we want to log in as, and we put it down there. This happens to be an Ubuntu instance from AWS, and one of the default users on there is Ubuntu. So we have Ubuntu at, and then the IP address. Now let's see what happens there. Oh, now it wants the password. Well, I'm not going to tell you the password.
Yeah.
Oh.
I was so hoping you were going to.
None of your dang business. All right, if I enter the right password, bada bing, bada boom, we're in. Okay? So now this terminal is actually interacting with a remote machine, which is great. One problem. How are we going to make a script that enters the password to be able to log into this machine? First of all, how are we going to make a script that SSHs into this machine and does something? Well, the answer is we don't actually need to do that. We don't need to SSH into this machine. But what we do need to do is get this auth.log file up there. We want to We want to get the right auth.log file. So if we look right now and I say less, where is the auth.log file located? So this is what some people do, ls. And when they look, what do you see? Oh,
Files.
log files. So let's just cd into log files.
Wrong location. Lost files.
Oh yeah. This is why tab complete is your friend, folks. This is why tab
I like
complete
lost
is your friend.
files.
Nothing in there. Okay, so then they come back to me, they're like, DJ, there were no log files on my machine. Come on, son. Where is this log located? Your auth.log file.
Slash. Oh, never mind. Oh, that's involved.
It depends. I don't.
Doesn't depend.
It does depend.
If you're on Ubuntu, it's always in the same place. /var/log/auth.log.
Change where you want your logs to go.
You can, but why would you do that?
Because you're lame, like me.
Oh, well, I hadn't accounted for that. Touche, right? No, if you were using Red Hat, it would be in /var/secure, I think.
Yeah,
And it's useless.
Or maybe it's no, I think it's maybe it's in /var/log, but it's called secure.log. I think that's what it is. Yeah. All right. So we need to look at so we want to do ls/var/log, right? If you remember, there's a bunch of logs in there, but we see there's an auth.log in there. Woohoo! That's the file we want to pull down. Okay? Now, could I have you pull down all of these? Yeah, you guys know how to do that. You guys know how to take all of these, the gzipped ones and everything, and process them. But guess what? This is where Uncle DJ knows what he's doing, right? Because I'm not going to show you everything. We've worked on that, but you can put this together. For the final project, you can make one tool that can do some really cool processing of these auth.log files. And you can pull lots of cool information out of them, right? And what I think is a good thing to do, you have syslog on here, which we've looked at, and you have auth.log. This is a different machine than we worked on before. This is something that's actually connected out to the real internet. And it's actively getting attacked by Chinese bots. So there might be cool stuff in that syslog file. So for the final project for this course, I want you guys to start thinking now about what kind of tool you're going to make. And it's okay to take a tool that we worked on as an assignment in here and turn that in with some augmentation, right? So if I can give you an IP to a remote machine, an IP and a username and a password, and you can hop up there, you can grab the stuff, you can pull it back down, you can process it and spit it out. That's a pretty cool project to walk out of this class with, right? Okay, so I'm over on this machine. How can I pull? I'm going to exit, and that makes it where I'm not SSH'd into this machine anymore. But let me talk about how I can get that file away. Have we talked about SCP in here yet? SCP stands for secure copy, like CP is for copy.
You talked about it, talking about it the last time you pulled up your AWS stuff, and you found out you had a little oopsie.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Um,
So what I'm going to do here is I need to do SCP, then I do the source and the destination. So I need to put Ubuntu there at my IP address that I was connected to, 35.160.193. I'm sorry. .111. Then I do a colon, and then I put the location of the file. var/log/auth.log. Okay? I'm going to go grab that, and where do I want to put that? Well, let's put that wherever it is that you're processing your files. If I put a dot, it's going to put it wherever I am, which is right now just in my little home directory. So I'm going to hit, so it's SCP, source, and then destination. So if I hit enter, it's going to ask me for the password to Ubuntu. So how are we going to get around this? You're not going to be... So how are we going to get around this in the script? Can we automatically make it where it logs in with the password.
I was looking into this, I was looking at a third-party app that would obfuscate the password and enter it into the command line. But I didn't finish it, so.
Yeah, so that's one option. Is it a good idea just to store the password in a variable in your script?
No.
Why not?
That's unsecure.
It's very bad. And so many times, when you're messing around hacking crap, you find that people just leave passwords everywhere for you to get. And usually it's like password.txt on the desktop or an Excel file or something. Use a password manager. But for this, we need a script. We need this script to interact with it. So the first thing we could do is we could just have human interaction. We could prompt the user for the password, or we could take that password as a command or as an argument on the command line, right? So as part of my script, if I know that I'm going to connect to a remote machine and pull an auth.log file down, I know I'm going to need a username and I'm going to need a password and I'm going to need an IP address. So why not take those as arguments to my program? And then that's okay. Putting the password as an argument to a program is okay because we're only storing it while the program executes, and then once the program's done, we get rid of it. And it's not just sitting on the machine anywhere, right? So that's one option you have, is taking it as an argument on the command line. Another option you have is when you get that prompt that pops up that says, what's the password? You could just ask the user, say, hey, what's this password? Right? So I'm not going to tell you exactly how to do that. I'm just giving you some options. The other option you could do is just make it so that the remote machine doesn't have a password. Right? That will make your script a lot easier, wouldn't it?
Sure would.
So why don't we do that?
Lack of security.
Hmm?
Lack of security.
Yeah. It's just like if you want to let your friends come to your house sometime, you could give them an alarm code and a key, or you could just not lock your house. That's probably a bad idea. Right? So I will, when you guys come up to me, I will give you guys an IP address, and you can go to that IP address and pull down a new auth.log file that's special and just for you, so you'll have different results than other people. And my suggestion, one suggestion for your final project, is to make something that would go connect to a live instance, pull the auth.log file down, and do some analysis. That sounds like a really cool program that you could talk to somebody about in a job interview. Say you did. That you did you created a script that you could give it a server that has SSH running, give it a username and password. It'll pop in there. It'll pull down the auth.log file, and it will analyze it to see if people have been trying to brute force that machine over SSH. Sounds like a cool project that you could do, right? Okay. So is there anything really that we need to know how to do for you guys to be able to accomplish the assignment to process an auth.log file and print out a report?
Formatting of the report, is that it?
Yeah, okay. Well, I am not always the best role model for things. Somebody asked if I could show an example of what the report should look like. I hesitate to do that a lot of times because what I don't want is everybody to have something that looks exactly the same as me.
I don't know if mine is acceptable or not.
Hey, Keys.
It's a draft version.
It probably is.
Remind me to ask you for help.
Okay.
Yes.
James, ask me for help.
Okay.
Thank you. That's what I needed.
Oh, you have a Pixel 7?
Wow.
Dude, you should run Graphene OS, man. That's what I do.
I was just thinking that.
Oh, really?
No.
Yeah,
I don't have time to have thoughts like that.
I mean, that's a fair point, but
Essentially, the whole reason why I got the Pixel 7 is to run Graphene OS on it. Because like I tried to have like the Pine phone.
I hate Google, so I got the Google phone
Yes.
to not run Google.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. Dude, it's the only one that can run it.
Okay, this is
All the other ones, they don't, because
Why did it not work for me, Drive?
even though Google sucks, like they do on their phone, they have the bootloader unlocked. So that helps. So it's easier to, because all the other ones, like Samsung and all of them, because I did a lot of research, they're a lot harder.
Yeah.
It's probably
Yeah.
possible,
I've
but
got a Pixel 7. So.
yeah.
Okay, now you want to work, you piece of
Nerd.
garbage.
Why don't you just move?
Be a sheep. Get an iPhone like the rest of us, man.
Been there, done that.
I did, exactly.
Like, because there's nothing you can do.
To moving closer to it.
No, but what I'm saying is there's nothing you can do. No, but what I'm saying, like, there's nothing you can do. You
No, but
live over there,
you're
so.
not getting what I'm saying. It's already in the lease, bro. There is no.
That's what I'm saying. There's no point in saying you pay that much, because anyways, you have to do that. There's nothing, there's no choice.
No.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, it still
sucks.
sucks, but there's no choice. Like, it looks like you have to go through it. I don't know what bros thought about.
It really is performance enhancement.
I've got your name written down over here on it.
It's gonna have to be like at least 5 to 7 more.
One of the octets is 2.
Now. Because the thing is, it was 250.
Okay, well, I don't remember which one of these is the right one, but I think it might be this one. Take a look at it.
Wait,
A month?
oh, yeah, okay.
Let's pretend that's my script. Oh, no! It might be dangerous, guys. We're going to download it anyway. Because we don't care.
They pay me to do one day. But the thing is, I don't have the time. Like, it eats up like another day every time.
We're actually going to rename this guy.
Schoolwork.
I don't want that 1 in there.
I mean, you could just get this.
All right, and we're also going to need an auth.log file.
They're talking long one shift a week, just for the extra. Because that's still an extra $80 a week. Yeah. It adds. It is. It will basically cover your gas.
Let's see. See if I can find one.
Here we go. Here's an auth.log file.
Honestly, it's frustrating.
All right.
But that's what Bash comes in, bro. You can
It's normal. But it's a bigger tank.
What's the gas mileage?
324.
All right, so here we go. Let's try this. Let's try my file.
That's way easier than a kernel. I wrote a small 2 lines.
It's not looking at it. I know. The thing is, Prius, I could never. That's
All right, here's the moment of truth. Let's see if my script works. What do we need to do, folks?
You know what I read? Do you know this getting where you actually do it?
You got touchscreen? That's actually impressive. There's a lot.
I'd be thinking about that late at night.
All right, so first let's take a look at how my program how my script communicates with the user. What does it say here? Finding repeated entries, expanding repeated entries. Then there's an error, probably not ideal. Then it says cleaning up. Then it says it's analyzing, listing IP addresses, attempting to log in with invalid usernames, listing IP addresses, attempting to log in as valid user, listing IP addresses, attempting to log in as valid user root in Ubuntu, and then listing invalid usernames. And then cleaning up, and then it says analysis complete, report saved as, and then it prints out the entire path to that report. So now I can say less, and then that report location, and take a look at it.
So is that like an example?
This is an example. It is. It's an example, but you can do your own thing.
Is that like a full points available example?
What do you mean full point? Yeah.
So it doesn't have
Yeah.
like my literally
Right. So this is exactly what I didn't want to happen, right? I don't want everybody's to look exactly like mine. Okay? You do you, and you figure it out. So,
You want me to run mine to give another example?
yeah, sure. All right, so let's take a look. Let's dig into what my file shows. So, IP addresses attempting to log in with invalid usernames. This doesn't look like any one IP address is doing a ton. I think I've got a file on here somewhere that has like 20,000 attempts on it. This one kid got pounded
Poor guy.
by the bots.
What do you do? Like, put like important USA file. This is
He didn't have it. He just they found it quickly and they just started really trying to log into that one.
important USA
All right.
files.com.
So this is kind of interesting. ZYFWP. You know, if you look these up as usernames, you'll find what they're actually looking for. I don't understand why Ubuntu is Ubuntu there, but I guess some people must have done that. Right? So what do you notice about my output? If you were grading this, what do you notice about my output? Anything?
It has fancy titles.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. It looks pretty.
Okay, that's kind of nice, right? What do you think if this had 10,000 entries in it? Do you remember, did I tell you guys about the long tail? Did we talk about that?
Yeah, we did talk about
You
that.
need to curb it.
Right? So we probably would want to do some sort of threshold because you're going to get a lot of ones, right? And you don't want this report to be miles long, okay? So I did show you guys how to kind of cut that off using using tail and using head.
What was the limit you wanted? Like, did you say like 10?
You didn't give an explicit.
Nope.
Okay.
I think in the example we used 5, but you have to, like, you've got to do you. So, like for this one,
Justify the number that you're showing.
yeah, for this one, and I could cut it off at 5 and that'd probably be okay. But it really just depends. Maybe I don't like all those 6s there. I'm like, look, if it doesn't show up 10 times or more, I'm not interested, right? But there's not a ton to this. If you had some that were showing up thousands of times, you really wouldn't care about something that showed up 10 times. You got bigger fish to fry. So it really depends on the thing. So okay, so we like the pretty headers, right? So there's good points for that. Does this have the right output, and is it formatted the way that we asked?
Yes.
It does. So where I would probably take some points away, when we look at what it's doing to communicate with the user, that's pretty good, except what's this right here?
An error on 9.7.
Sounds to me like this code, this script is not ready for prime time because it's got this error going on.
Look, it's an iterative design method. You know, you just got to attempt one. You know, DJ.
So I should, before I submit this as my homework, I should really go figure out why is it giving me this error, and I should probably make it where I don't get that error if at all possible, unless that error is telling me something. And I didn't specify a sorted expanded file up here. I'm not giving, I don't have any, I didn't tell it, I hard coded what the output's going to be. And the way that this works is it looks at what your current working directory is, what the name of your file is. You see this auth.log, and it just adds this little piece to the end of the file and puts it in the same folder. Okay. Now, if you were doing this on a live machine and you're trying to write into that, well, downloads would be okay, but if you're trying to write into var.log, it will be mad at you. And it will say, hey, those are system files. You can't write here. So in that case, you'd really want to be able to take in as a variable the location where you want to save the file and what name, the full path to where you want to save the file, the output file. All right? So I'm going to get out of the way here, and I'm going to let Keith show you his and what his output looks like. So you'll have multiple examples, and you won't feel like,
I need to look up.
yeah. So you'll have multiple examples, and you won't feel like you have to have one that looks like mine. Now, that's a pretty basic one. I actually wrote that script because I was tired of grading stuff by hand, which is a great application to automate stuff. And I actually use that when people give me an auth.log file for 477. I look at their results that they turned in, and then I throw that into my little thing, and it tells me whether or not they've done some things like, did they expand for repeats? Is it the completely wrong file? And that class was great until we started doing it online. Some people really like it, some people really hate it.
There you go.
What's happening?
I was trying to make it bigger and it didn't want to do it very nicely. All right.
Lagging?
No, it's wrong key. All right, we good there?
Yeah.
All right, so.
Let me get, no. Oh, gosh.
I was gonna say. That hurt. The older I get, the more sneezing hurts. Is that true, Keith?
Was that?
The older you get, the more it hurts when you sneeze.
The older you get, the more it hurts when you move. So yes,
Okay.
quick movements like sneezes. At least that's what I hear. I'm not that old. All right. So. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
That's a first.
It's because you're in the main seat.
Drew, what they
So this both displays and saves to a file. So obviously some cleanup on providing that information to the user, but just a different way to do banners, and then different thresholds.
All right, if you were grading Keith's assignment, what would you say about this?
It's pretty good.
Yeah, it looks pretty. Like,
Now, what if somebody asks you, why would you want to do this? Why is this useful?
So if someone comes after him, they can be like, oh, this is what this means.
Yeah, if you just put this tool out there, why would you want to use this tool on your machine?
See an IP address with 146 attempts with a wrong password with the same IP, you're getting botted.
Yeah, well,
Well, I mean, not
somebody's
botted.
brute forcing you, right? Yeah. Yeah, then you want to take further action. Now, what further action you take, that is something I had people do in 477, and they still will continue to do that part of it. All right? But what further action you take, that's up to the company, but this lets you do that analysis. It analyzes for you. Instead of you looking through and pen and paper, writing this stuff down, you can immediately run this through there, and it tells you what you're looking at, right? It tells you what's going on. You got a lot of machines that are trying to log in with wrong passwords. So now you can address that. And the beautiful thing is I can feed it any log file, any opt-out log file, and it should be able to do this analysis for me. Right? So that's good. So we like Keith's output. Would you ding him points anywhere on this assignment if he turned it in? Were there any error messages that got displayed?
I did get one. This is my V2, my
Yeah.
version 2, and it hasn't been tested as version 1. So.
Okay. So probably want to, same thing as mine, you want to square away those errors. Okay, unless the error is useful to the user. If it's something that the user did wrong, like they didn't put they neglected to put the password in there or something like that. If it's just an error that's going to happen, like cat banner.txt no such file or directory.
That's what it is.
Did the user enter banner.txt? No. So it means it's something in there is hard coded that the user didn't have anything to do with, and that's what's causing the error. Those aren't the kind of errors that you want to have popping up.
Man, where did my banner go?
So do you guys have a pretty good idea for what you need to do for next Tuesday?
Do we have to have a banner?
Hmm?
Do we have to have a banner?
Did I ever say you had to have anything?
No.
I did. I did say what you needed to print out. What did I say was necessary to print out? The analysis, right? I want to know what IP addresses tried to log in as Ubuntu and give me a count of those, what tried to log in as root, what tried to log in as an invalid user, and what's the list of names that those invalid users they tried to log in as. That's the only thing that I say that you need to print. Now, could you do something really ugly and just print those counts on all one line that just keeps wrapping around with no formatting? Yes, you could. Will you get a good grade for that? No. Right? My intent for this is that you guys are making a tool that somebody who doesn't know anything about it could turn it in or could use your tool according to your guidelines you make for it, type it in the command line, hit enter, and then it displays this pretty report. Right? And they could take this report and they could go give it to their boss. Or they could turn it into the people that are making the firewall policies or the people that are in charge of securing the network, right?
And do you want all of this in one file, or could we have it go to separate files for each of the issues?
Well, I'm not going to tell you exactly how to do it. I will say that some people decide to do these weird trees where you have to like, oh, I'm going to enter this, and then I have to put a file name and then this. If you do that, that's okay. Those are a little bit annoying. I would much prefer that you just give people options to put things on the command line. And the reason is sometimes I might want to use your bash script inside another bash script or a Python script. We're getting to script inception. Inscription. No, wait, that means something different. All right. So you want to make this tool as robust as possible. And if you have something that you constantly have to interact with as a user, that makes it a lot more difficult to do the embedded scripts. Okay?
So here's my cleanup, where I think last week we talked about I check to see if the file exists before removing it.
Good.
That way I don't get an error saying file does not exist,
Yes. That's great.
like with my banner.
Okay.
Which actually worked with dealing with errors up here when it's trying to expand a file. If there are no repeated messages, there is nothing to expand, so that file doesn't exist. So this will do a check for it to make sure it exists before moving on to that step. Because if it doesn't, it just skips that step.
Very cool. So,
that was a fun one.
I think even if this class ended today, I think you guys have actually learned a lot of useful skills that you can.
Yeah, we've learned nothing.
Yeah, that's right. Well, you've had the opportunity to learn a lot of useful skills, right?
Yeah.
So whether or not you learn them is sort of up to you and how much you put into this. Okay. So for next Tuesday, I want you guys to create a file or create a program, a script, we'll say, that will work kind of like a program that will do all of these things. Okay, I want it to print out pretty somehow. What pretty means is up to you. If you want to make some dolphin ASCII art and you want to call it something, right? If you want to make an ASCII movie where it'll play a little ASCII movie in your terminal and then give you your results, that's fine by me. Okay?
No errors.
Just remember, you're trying to make a tool that's useful to people. And all right, so the other thing I want you guys to do is I want you to create a GitHub. I would like you, instead of giving me these files, I would like you to give me a link to your GitHub repository where the files are kept.
Why do you think you did?
Why would I do that? Is it just because I'm having a tough time in life right now and I want to make your life suck?
Yes.
Maybe.
Yes, it is.
Busted! Exposed!
Chief of security, gotta do that.
Now we know he's sexist and he's a sadist.
Oh!
Man, double strikes. One more, he's out.
So, I have a huge whole issue with like privating GitHubs. To me, it makes more sense to keep it private until asked for, unless you're trying to show it to a recruiter. Is this something that we would want to show?
Okay, so let me ask you something. Why would you not want to let somebody have it?
Because I make very dumb notes on everything I code, and I have to manually go through and copy it without all of my what's happening at 5 a.m. in my life. So I'll remember like when I'm in the code to go like let the dog out or something. So it's like
It's like personal. I mean,
so it's like, what's your? Do we have to have this like public? because I do have things like that in pretty much every program that I've written.
Grep for all those things.
Grep for my personal
And then
information.
Alright, yes, you just do grab stuff I don't want other people to see, start up star, and we'll take care of it.
Yeah.
Alright, so, okay. I will remove the requirement to put it on a GitHub.
No, let's just put it on a GitHub.
How about this?
Stack Overflow. Let's try that.
Bonus points if you put it on your GitHub.
Alright, that'll be.
Portable public repository for DJ.
Social engineers. Out of my VM.
10
You
minutes
know
to
what,
make
slide
it.
there in one.
He's gonna use GitHub?
Yeah, we'll do it regardless.
Recommends GitHub, not Stack Overflow?
Lock out of your
Come on,
VM.
there's a guy here. You're gonna make us.
Oh, okay, now I'm
Overflow.
Well, that's probably okay.
That's true. John told me like Stack Overflow.
Bro, it's gonna be looking really good when you guys are cybersecurity job with that. It's so harsh. Our team is what's gonna happen? Hold on, let me. It's like Logan.
Alright, so if you guys don't have any further questions, then I will liberate you for today. Please take that extra 15 minutes and find time to pray to whatever being you worship, but I won't be gone for 3 weeks.
I'll pray to my flying spaghetti monster.
That, yes. I shall offer up some Parmesan cheese to the flying spaghetti
Got
monster.
it.
I'm still
You know what I meant, little bro. What you mean by that, bro?
And those of you who are,
Video that I sent you.
thank you for playing.